And hello. Good afternoon, good day, greetings to all. I am Sora Chandra Hurd, Sora Breaking News of Gamma Pyro Lupus Sorority Incorporated. And today we have a family and friend of our organization. We have Mr. Emmitt Henderson III from Male Lupus Warriors Corporation with us. He's also our vice president of our board of directors, and genuinely a huge friend and asset to us and you all to this lupus community. So we want to thank you guys for joining us. It's going to be a conversation today, conversations with Chandra. They kind of just go on some things, let you know how he's doing, because we're all worried about E, and some ways that you can help him, not only him, but others, because a lot of people aren't aware of some of the things that can happen when you need a kidney transplant or you may want to be a donor. So we're going to get right into that. Again, welcome. Hey, Emmitt.
How you doing, Chandra? And thank you for all joining today. It's good to see you all.
Welcome. I know your time is short, but I know whatever second you have, you are going to be an advocate, not only for yourself, but for others in everything that you do. So, first of all, I'm going to just take a moment. Let's give Emmitt a round of applause, because Emmitt is another warrior who is at his rarest form showing you that no matter what circumstances comes, he will defeat it, and you can too. So Emmitt right now, you all know, I'm gonna let him tell his story, but right now he is in need of a kidney and he's doing home dialysis, but nobody wants to do that if they don't have to. So we're looking for a kidney for Emmitt, but we have so much more information for you today. So thanks for joining in, and Emmitt, I will let you take it away.
I appreciate you, sis. Thank you so much. So you guys almost all know my story. I am a male lupus warrior. As I was telling Chandra, 29 years just last week. And so, blessed to be where I'm at today. Lupus ain't for the weak, and we all know that. And we got a warrior in each and one of us. And, we tend to come out of that mode of why me to, definitely try me. And that's what makes us the warriors that we are. With me, where I'm at today, with my long journey of having almost every organ fail, I'm now in a second failure of my kidneys, which I got diagnosed with the lupus and lupus nephritis in 95. And I lasted all the way to 2012 until I had to go into dialysis. If you guys know, there's different forms of dialysis. The one that I chose is peritoneal because it was something that I thought would fit my lifestyle. Doing the peritoneal dialysis at night, where I had the freedom in the day to do whatever I want, as long as I had the strength to do it. And I felt that that's what I needed because of the projects and things that I was doing. So that went good for about 15 months of peritoneal dialysis back in 2012. And then I got a kidney from my younger brother in 2013. Lasted me 9.5 years. Most of you know I took a journey to Africa recently and was able to get a chance to climb Mount Kilimanjaro as part of the advocacy for Africa. Coming onto that mountain, I kind of had some health issues before, and I've concluded that I was in kidney failure before going to Africa. It's just that when I suffered the pulmonary edema in my lungs going up the mountain, I kind of made my symptoms more, uh, the symptoms came out even more. And so when I got home thinking that they were going to help me with lung failure, they told me I was in complete kidney failure. That was at the mid ending part of 2022. Here we are, 2024 now. And between then and now, Chandra, let me tell you, so many things had transpired between then and now, where, I'm lucky to have Chanel here with me. She witnessed everything and helped me through a lot of it because a lot of it is for even a lot for me to handle at the time, but I knew that this was my life, so I had to do it. When I first got the word that my kidneys were failing, they had to put an emergency port in me. Then they decided I wanted to try peritoneal again because it worked for me the first time. It didn't work the second time. My peritoneal, what do you call it, the membrane, excuse me, only lasted about 2.5 months. And I was getting sick because it wasn't working. So they had to abort that process, put another access port in me, which is another catheter. Tried that. That didn't work. I ended up going 9 ports later because of all the accesses that failed. Both sides of my neck, both sides of my shoulder, my stomach, my groin, my thighs. I mean, these ports were failing everywhere until the latest one is here in my bicep and my arm. And so this one is the one that I have access now. I've been using now so
I know
far.
you just
So
I
far,
know you just want the flex, but go ahead.
not at all. That's my logo doing that. That does that for me. Um, but now that that part is working, I had to come under the choices of hemodialysis. And I did that for a little bit just to get started. But then I realized, you know what, this is interfering in my daytime. I need to be free. I need to run my nonprofit. I need to spend time with my family, with Chanel. I need to be outdoors. So then home hemo was offered to me. And for you guys going through dialysis, if you know what home hemo is, that is basically a procedure to where I do, or Chanel, we do the dialysis ourselves at home. I don't need a nurse to be here. They supply me with all the equipment and we access our, fistula with needles and then plug into the machine and do it at home. I have flexibility now. I can do it morning or night as long as I do the full term of 4 to 5 hours a day. Unfortunately, now because of an episode recently, I'm doing it 7 days a week, 7 days a week. But think about it, the comfort of my own home, I'd rather be confined to that as of opposed to getting up, going to a clinic, 4 to 5 hours there, then going home. And that's the majority of my day. It's like my own job. It's like a job I'm going to, but this is saving a way of saving my life. So kind of in a nutshell, that's kind of where we are today. I can go into more with how it's done, but if you have anything else, Chandra, you want to ask me about it, let's keep going.
Okay. I wanted to go back to ask you how your brother is doing.
My brother that donated me the kidney is doing great. When he donated his kidney to me, he was out of the hospital the very next day. To this day, he's as active as me. And that's just another blessing that a human body can live with just one kidney and presume normality in no matter what you're doing. So I know people have that conception and that thought of mind that I'm losing a body part. How's that going to be for my future? There's plenty of people out there that's living with one kidney today because of them saving another life that they're doing just exceptionally well.
And that's so good to hear. And that's so good to let people know because, like you say, there is so many unknown answers to questions that people have. They may say, oh, I might want to, but, oh, then I'm going to be without a kidney. You can
Right.
live a perfect life with just one kidney. So that's always good to let others know about that information.
Yes, it is.
You mentioned, well, you didn't mention, but you travel a lot. Nothing has slowed you down, you know. So how is that traveling? Because I know at one time a friend of mine was saying how it's a real not a headache, but it's like so say you want to I'm gonna just use a cruise because that was what we were talking about. Having to make sure that the doctors ship it to where she's gonna be, and it's really a lot. So how is that going for you? Because it hasn't slowed you down. It hasn't. So how is
No, it hasn't. And I'm going to give you the perspective from Chanel because she can like talk to you about that. For me, it's pretty easy, but for more of somebody that's helping you, it helps a lot. It's already a lot on our plate that we got to do the dialysis, that we got to make sure we have everything. But having a partner that understands the process, see what it is, makes it easier for both of you. You want to explain about that part?
it? Hey.
Hey, you
Come
guys,
on, it's
how's
about
everyone
you
doing?
too. Hey.
it makes it easy as far as, traveling. It doesn't cost us anything for the machinery to go on a plane, nor did it cost us to go on the cruise. Um, it's heavy. It's not a light machine.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think that's the biggest inconvenience. Is it's kind of heavy, but
Okay.
it comes in a case, a hard case or a soft case, and we're able to transport it, however we need to set it up. They give you drain kits for it. Um, I think, again, like Emmett said, with some of the medical knowledge that I have, it makes it a lot easier. I know to be prepared. But I would say this, even if you don't have any medical knowledge, your home hemodialysis trainers, your centers or trainers will
Mm-hmm.
make sure that you're comfortable doing what you're doing and that whoever your partner is, or if you're by yourself, they're going to
Yeah.
make sure that you're completely trained first before they allow you to do it at home. So I don't really think I mean, it's a lot, don't get me wrong. And it is, I mean, I don't know, it's just kind of normal for us. I
Normal
wouldn't say
life.
yeah, it's not really an inconvenience. I wouldn't say that. I mean, it's just life right now. So,
And part of the traveling part of it, because the machine is portable, if you're doing the home hemo and you do want to travel, um, the most part that you're responsible for, which the clinics make it easy. They tell you, you bring your machine, you bring this, we got the rest.
mhm,
You have to do the legwork by contacting your clinic and saying, I am traveling here to there, and to say the cruise, for instance, like we just did recently. I let them know the ship number, the ship dates. They do the legwork. They contact Carnival and say, we are delivering 4 days, 5+ days worth of supplies to the ship, and the patient is bringing everything else. So they
Mhm.
coordinate to get the supplies to the ship, which again, she said is free. We take the machine, which comes in a carrier with wheels, free. And keep in mind that all medical equipment travels free,
mhm,
whether it's road, air, or ship. It
mhm,
travels for free.
yeah,
So you don't have to worry about cost on that. And they make it to where they want you to go out and live a good life and enjoy your life. People think that because, if you can imagine, if you say you just didn't know me, didn't know what I'd done prior, you just saw me today, you find out my health condition, I'm doing dialysis 7 days a week. First thing people are going to think, does this guy even have a life? I'm
Mhm.
doing more than some healthy people are doing because I refuse to let kidney disease, lupus, or any ailment stop me from enjoying what this world has to offer. So there are ways, but if you don't look for it, if you don't, advocate for it, if you don't go for it itself, you're never going to know. So we do. We plan on doing a lot more traveling, and I've already got the blueprint of how I'm doing it. If anybody want to ask, reach out. I'll show you
Okay.
guys how to do it because I'd rather you know than not know. So you can look back and say, while I was on dialysis, I had a good ass time going here, going there. That's what I want to hear.
Always educating, always educating. Yes. Some people feel that that was one thought that I had. I was like, oh Lord, if I have to do dialysis, please don't let me have to do dialysis. That's the last thing I want to do is dialysis. And then I met people and bonded with people, actually got to know their story. And I'm like, like you just said, you're living your life better than some people who are normal, and you definitely taking advantage of every moment that you have, so
Yes,
that's grateful. You got your grandchild there, you always fishing, Chanel on
always.
the beach finding seashells, and you guys are definitely loving life,
yeah.
loving life.
Well,
And
that's
that's
like we had an emergency and we had to go home and see my granddaughter and help my son out. And all we had to do was call some clinics down there.
Yes.
And this was the other aspect of it, which I wanted to cover this real fast. We didn't even have to take any machinery or have any supplies shipped, period. The only thing I think we had to take this last time were some extra needles because they weren't sure that that particular center would have the needles that he needed. So that's all we had to take this time. But we were able to call my hometown, find a clinic, find out, when they could get him in, and they got him into dialysis. and it was, no problem.
And that's a good point, because that would actually be the first option first.
Mhm.
Say that I'm traveling to your town in Chicago or in Atlanta, because I know you'd be worldwide, Chandra, but
Mhm.
wherever I'm going, say to your place, I will
Okay.
call your city and
Okay.
say, I
Mhm.
am a dialysis patient. I'm involved with your clinic because the clinic I'm at and the majority, 90+% of the clinics are all over.
Mhm.
Call, find which one is in that area, which one can get you in at the dates you're going. And if they can squeeze you in, that is so much easier. If you live in a rural area where they don't have that, then you go to the route of bringing your supplies and getting it done that way.
Okay. So you guys know that you can live and thrive having to do dialysis while you are in search of a kidney. Emma, can you remind people what your blood type is?
My blood type is B positive. Anyone with the B positive or O can be a donor, but I want to mention about the exchange program where you do not have to be a match for me. You do not
Yes.
have to be the same blood type for me, but still contribute to where you're helping me and saving another life. And that's involved with the kidney exchange program. So say, I see LaShawn on here. Hello, LaShawn. Say that she wants to donate to me, but she's not the same blood type as I am.
Mhm.
If she gets involved in the exchange program, she will contact my kidney transplant team. They will take her information as long as she is willing to donate to somebody in this world that needs one and saving their lives on my behalf. She donates to them. They take me from the bottom of the transplant list to the very top. That means that that next kidney that's my match will go straight to me as of opposed to the other thousands that were way ahead of me. So people, there are your friends. There are people in the community that are needing a kidney. You do not have to be a match. If you'd like to help them, help me, contact us and see what we can do to get you involved. Therefore, you donating your kidney is saving somebody's life. At the same time, mine will be saved with that very next kidney.
That is so good to get out because most people don't know that. Most people don't
No,
know that.
no.
They'll
And
think,
the yeah, people have reached out to me that has been on dialysis for years, and they're telling me they didn't know that. So they're looking into it and hoping that, they get another step with this.
because I know with trying to get a donor, a lot of times we'll use ourselves with lupus. It's hard because our the majority of our family members want to help, right? Or they say they do. And they want to help. They want to help, but even just the minor thing, well, it's not minor, but some of the smallest issues that a person has, they can't donate because they have other issues. Like
Yes.
you don't think about that when you're like, oh, I'll be fine if I have to do dialysis. I have at least 12 people who want to donate, a kidney. Oh, wait a minute, she has high blood pressure. Oh, wait a minute,
Right.
she has, rheumatoid arthritis. Oh, wait a minute,
Yep.
he has this, so it's like, okay, knock those off. And then think, okay, so is that the same thing as the transplant exchange? Is that what you're talking about? Paired kidney exchange?
Yes, it's the same. Paired kidney exchange, it's the same because there's people, like I said, there's thousands of people on the list for organ that needs an organ. And for the kidneys that I know of, I don't know if it applies to any other ones. Yes, people can step up, healthy people can step up and donate their organ. And if it doesn't go to you, it can go to someone, but that gives you the advantage of moving you up the list. And to me, honestly, with that program, why are these people still on dialysis 20 plus years? Are there
Mm-hmm.
anybody that, I mean, I know that if I was healthy and anybody that I have met that's such a good friend of mine that I know that I'm healthy, I can live with one kidney, I would do a life's gesture to help him and put myself in that position where I can lay back and say, I saved a life.
That's because they really don't know how great you can live with one kidney. That's why it's so good that you're getting the information out. You constantly get the information out for people
Yes.
that are not aware, because a lot of people don't know, just like they don't know about lupus, you know. So the
Right.
continuous work of you guys advocating and letting the information be out there, you know, sooner or later, you know, everyone will catch on, and you're paving the way. You're, what do they say? You're walking so someone else can run. So, you know, stay the
That's it.
course and continue, you know, doing what you're doing. You mentioned how many people are waiting for a kidney. I'm seeing here it says 90,000 plus people are waiting from a kidney, and that's just from someone from a deceased donor. You know, it
Yes.
says the typical
Yes.
wait time is 3 to 10 years waiting for a deceased kidney donor. Let's see, 90 days typical wait time for a kidney patient to find a matched kidney from a living donor.
Yeah.
There's so many statistics here, and you know, we can't solve the world overnight, but just, you know, just know that you can help one person, and you do not have to be the same type. But
Right.
how amazing can that be? Say, if I was healthy, which I am mentally, that I could donate a kidney. No, I'm not B type to help Emmitt, but that could increase his opportunity of, you know, getting a kidney. You know, can you imagine the life he would live if he had the kidney? Would he slow
Yeah.
down?
Amen. I think because of it, I'll take advantage of life even more and make sure that I'm helping even more
Hmm.
because, our stories inspire others to see that people see me as a man with lupus and having all the ailments that I had, that this guy's still thriving. I don't nowhere near half the problems, but I need to thrive myself. And that's
Hmm.
the seed that we want to plant in everybody. And the biggest thing too is that when I had my kidney failure, knowing that I'm going through kidney again issues, it's kind of like from experience from the first time, I told myself, I got through it then, I had a transplant, I'm gonna get through it again with a transplant. And hoping that people see that mentality, not saying that they will adapt to it and have that same mentality, because everybody's different. I don't fault anybody for where they're at in their place. I don't fault anybody. It's just that I'm hoping to give somebody a little bit more inspiration to where they can live a better life today than they did yesterday. And telling our stories does that. We just don't know it all the time, but it does. Every one of us on here that is going through something has inspired somebody.
I have a coworker that is, and her name is Camille. She's awesome. I think she donated like 6 or 7 years ago. Um, and she's thriving. She's doing very
Mhm.
well. So yeah, I think people don't understand that you can't, if you're a healthy donor, and you touched on something, Chandra, that's very important. Mental health as well as physical health is very important. They go hand in hand. And so
Hmm.
when you're going to make a decision like giving a body part or donating, they do look at that. They look at you as a whole. So, like you said, just because you may be healthy, that doesn't mean that they won't find something that will prevent you from donating, you know. So there's a lot that goes into it, but there's so many outlets now. And I think it's education, just educating. It wasn't, healthcare is not what it was 20 years ago, 50
Right.
years ago, 100 years ago. It's not even the same 5 years ago.
Right, right. Every day, they're coming out with something new, and that's
Mhm.
why the information is so good, you know, to get out there so people can be more informed and informed the right way. You know, not just hearing somebody on the street like, "Oh, I'm not giving my kidney away because of this or that," but you know, to hear it from people who's experienced and who has the education, the knowledge behind it, you know, that can share the possibilities. I want to ask you, so they have the living donor and they have the someone who has
Deceased.
deceased. So
Hmm.
is there a I know when you want a kidney, you want a kidney, so you really, you know, I know there's also the and I can't think of the name of it, but just say from a pig or something like that, you're able to
Oh
get a
yeah,
Well, it hasn't been approved yet.
okay,
yeah.
okay, okay.
That is something that is in it has worked so far,
Mm-hmm.
but the testing has not been FDA approved at this point.
Yeah.
So that's still, I mean, we're telling when that might come about.
Okay.
That could be, I don't know, in some years.
And there's this, it's the same, it falls in the same with
Fiber. That's the name I'm thinking of.
artificial kidneys too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's doctors out there trying to make artificial kidneys. Can you just imagine if they can make a man-made kidney that can reduce that 90,000 and save so many lives? But at the same time, there's not anything that has been approved yet. They've done hearts. You know, they're getting close with technology today with
Mm-hmm.
stents and pacemakers to keep hearts going. Next thing you know, they're going to make a mechanical heart and stuff like that. But none of that has been approved yet and are close to even getting done. But until then, yes, we rely on either a living donor or a deceased donor. Every person, this is how I feel, every person that is in need of a kidney has to advocate for themselves as well, instead of just being on the list and waiting for your turn. Anybody can do that because you're automatically on the list, you're waiting for your turn. But if you're advocating for. You don't have to be a full-on advocate as we are. You don't have to be a big voice in the community. Just put your word out, put your story out. And somebody that you may not know will step up and say, hey, this a stranger came up to me and Chanel said it's like a life mission that God told me to do something, and I saw you needed a kidney from your flyer, and she went through the test. She went through the test. So it's things like that to where anybody that's on dialysis right now, they need to do that. If you're on social media, just put a post out. Again, you don't have to have these millions of followers to feel you're going to get seen. All it takes is one person, one person.
Can I ask something real fast, Chandra? When you talk about a living donor, that's what we're talking about with the donor exchange program. That's a living donor.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Talk
Mm-hmm.
about a deceased, that's an organ donor. That's what you call someone who has they and one thing that we don't like to talk about is death. We don't like to talk about what's going to happen next, but
Right.
somehow we have to really bridge that gap because no, we may not want to talk about it, but at some point in time, it's going to happen. So a lot of times what you can do is you can go when you renew your ID or driver's license, you can put
Absolutely.
organ donor on there. And that eliminates your family having to make that choice because that's where a lot of people don't want to be approached. That was something I did in the military. Unfortunately, when a soldier would pass away, myself and the chaplain and doctors would then have to go talk to the soldier's family and ask them if they'd be willing to donate the soldier's organs. And that's a hard conversation, you get all kinds of responses. People, but these are conversations that should be had before you get to that point.
Yeah.
And so, again, that's one thing that's another easy way to do it. Go down and make sure that's on your driver's license if you're eligible, if you do not have some type of autoimmune disease that would prevent you from being an organ donor.
Okay. And I didn't realize so many factors that will stop you from being able to be an organ donor because I started being an organ donor as soon as I, you know, could learn to drive and got my license. But we also need to let people know that being an organ donor and stating that that's what you want to do. So there's no question, unfortunately, when your time comes, whether it's health or accident or whatever. Um, it's not, it'll help so many people because they'll use your eyes. It's not one specific thing that they can use if someone is in need. And most people say, well, I don't want to be, this science project or something like that. You're giving life to others. You're giving
Yes,
life
yes,
to so many others because somebody may need, one thing, and then you can help so many people by being a donor in so many ways.
absolutely, absolutely. And the thing about that again is that you're extending somebody's life. You know, none of
Mhm.
us asked for these illnesses. None of us asked to to suffering through some of the ways that we do with our illness. So to bring ease to somebody, that's just something that God would want us all to do. And if we can do it, then why not? Why not? And like you said, everybody is not eligible because of, you know, prior ailments. And that's okay. And there's millions of people on this earth that are healthy as well. So it's just works the other way around. It just depends again, what legacy do you want to leave behind? You know, be known that, hey, I may not have much, so much that I want to make up for it. This is the best way to do it. Save a life. Save a life.
Right, right. We have a few messages in the comments in the messages, and Kyra says, "Hello, everyone. Good to see everyone's faces. Good to see your face, little lady. Let me see your face.
Yes.
Let me
Hi,
put my
Kyra.
eyes on you. Let me put my eyes on you. Hey, on.
You're on mute. Yeah, you are.
I'm good. I'm okay. I'm hanging in there. I was listening to what you guys were saying, but I was like, I'm already a donor on my driver's license, so
Yeah, no, once you're
I
diagnosed
wouldn't be able to be a donor, right?
no.
Well, you know what? Leave it there and let your doctors decide on that. You know, if come time to where you decide you want to donate, just go through the test and let the doctors say no. Just because we have some of these ailments doesn't mean we're always excluded. There could be that small percent that, wait a minute, this illness doesn't matter about your kidneys. You should be fine to donate if you wanted to. It's just that I know from experience, lupus is one of them that won't let you, or they will decline you from being a donor.
Look, we might be able to donate, but we might give another side effect. You know, they give you a pill. Like, oh, it's gonna help this, but you might have a side effect. You can
Yeah,
have my kidney,
yeah,
but you might have a side effect.
that's all. That's all.
Yeah, you know. So,
About
and who
donating
It's no different than the late
blood.
night side effect
I think
medications.
I think mine's O. It's either O negative or O positive.
that's a
So
good,
you have a unique
yeah.
universal blood type that works for a lot of they're compatible with a lot of other bloods. So if you were in need of something in an organ or so, you know, you would be in a higher category to be found because of your blood type. But keep in mind, the exchange program for a kidney doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
And who knows what's coming in the next few years, like you say, with technology and all the things that the major advances that they're making in the medical community, that who knows
Yeah.
what will happen. Yeah, I have high hopes for it. I have high hopes for it.
What is that machine that they're making the plastic parts? They're making what the what do you call it?
I don't know.
It's a laser machine, but they make the plastic parts. It's like a scanner,
Okay.
printer. It's the 3D printers. They're made out
Uh-huh.
of plastic. But yeah, they're working right now with that, the 3D printers on making body parts. And it's really
Oh,
neat.
Oh, the way they make
The-
artificial.
Yeah,
When they make an artificial, they're kind of making it like how we saw.
joints and things like that.
Yeah, yeah. We,
wow.
and with that said, not only we're hoping that it's advances for kidney, but for lupus overall. If I didn't have lupus, I wouldn't have had kidney problems. You know,
Right.
even though people can have kidney problems without lupus, but we still need to fix that bottom line of the umbrella that covers a lot of this stuff, which is lupus.
Right, right. That's the bottom goal. We want to help everybody because we do not want ourselves, our children, or anyone to suffer with this disease that causes so many other
Yeah.
autoimmune factors, which comes to an announcement that I want to make. We are going to be doing our lupus and hereditary webinar on April 6th. I believe it's the first Saturday in April. And if you have a family member that has an autoimmune disease, not just lupus, or it doesn't only have to be lupus, but if they have rheumatoid arthritis or Sjogren's or fibromyalgia, any of those autoimmune diseases, we welcome you to come on and invite your family members so we can have a discussion because back then, Emmitt, when we were going through our diagnosis, They probably told you the same thing. Don't have kids, or if you have a kid, something's going to be wrong with them or something like that. They'll have this and that and this and that. My baby came out, she had everything she was supposed to have, and I was like, oh, there is a God. But unfortunately, at the age of 17, around the same time that I started experiencing things, the same type of issues she began to have. So it's possible. It's possible. It's possible. So
Amen.
it's possible, man or woman. Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Let's see. Kyra says, anytime I'm feeling like a mess, I always say, what would Emmitt do? I love that statement. I love that statement.
Thank you, Kyra. I would just stay on the positive side because, like I mentioned earlier, each one of us have a warrior inside. I just thankful and glad that I could help you find that within you.
All right. I do want to say that um, I know that you are our lupus super warrior. And I know you show the good, the bad, the ugly, but let the lupus community know, how are you doing, Emmitt? How are you doing?
You guys know that I do a lot, and what a lot of you probably don't see is, of course, behind the curtain. And honestly, the part that's behind the curtain is when I need that time for Emmitt, um, where I kind of not cut off communication to the world, but I kind of stay in my lane because I can't help nobody if I don't help myself. And with the way my health has been, the passing of my mother, um, yeah, I was kind of in a darker place than I've ever been. I thought lupus pain was bad, but the death of the one that raised me for over 50 years was worse, one of the worst pains that I've ever felt. And never really had to experience that before. So the process and the grieving took a little longer than I thought. But overall, I tended to put aside all my lupus symptoms, my pain from the kidneys. I put all that aside to think about my mom. I've done a lot of isolation to myself, not meaning that I cut everybody out, but I got away. I went fishing. Chanel kind of gives me my space to let me, think about this, but was always there though. She gave me the encouragement I needed to be talked to. Because I'm gonna tell you guys this right now, no matter how strong that you see and say that I am, not one person in this world don't need that comfort and support. We may
Absolutely.
be strong, but we still need a shoulder to lean on. We still need to need somebody to tell us, you know what, Em, things are going to be cool. Things are going to be okay. And when I hear that, I feel like it's time. It's time to get up, get out, and get out of this hole. And I always say that
Yeah.
our lives, our surroundings going to take us down, but we just can't stay there. We can't. And so that even applies to me. And I do practice a lot of the things that I do preach. It's just that I am human too. I am human too, and I will go through some of this, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I look to the future, and for me, I have better things to look forward to than dwelling on what's in my past. So Emmett is doing good, a
Mm-hmm.
lot better.
Okay.
And I've been involved with a lot of projects with a lot of different companies. I got projects coming up with companies. I'm still doing all these lives. I'm still doing all of these things. And it keeps my spirits going as well, reminds me what I started in 2019 as an advocate to keep going what I'm doing. So thank you guys all for the support that y'all shown us, that you've shown me, that you've shown the fact that the condolences and prayers from my family and myself, because again, that keeps me going, like I'm sure it will keep everybody going. So just keep that in mind. No matter how strong you are, you still need comforting as well. Love you
Yes.
guys all too. Thank you.
Love you too. And as far as your mom, our condolences again on behalf of Gamma Pi Rho Lupus Sorority Incorporated. And your grieving time is your grieving time. There is no time limit or
Right.
days that anyone can give you to process that. Take the time that you need to process that, Emmitt. And that goes for anyone. anyone who is dealing with the loss. Your time is your time. Some people
Right.
know how to move on and block it off and keep going, but that's going to manifest. That's going to manifest.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
you're going to have your good times, moment. Process those feelings, and as you've been witness to, because I've seen the posts, she's still with you. She's
She
still
is.
with you. And she shows you
Yep.
signs that she's not gone far. She may be gone in the physical, but the relationship that you all had still have. I know you talk to her, she's still with you. She's still with you. And take
Always.
whatever time
Always.
you all need. And thank you, Chanel, for being there. I've said it since day one. Thank you for being there for our brother in every shape, form, or fashion, because we love
Definitely.
you for being there and being such a strong woman, because we know he's a lot to deal with. So, no, just knowing that his life, is a lot, but you brought so much joy to it. And we ask for people, oh God, send me someone or whatever. I remember you saying, yeah, I would want someone with lupus. I'm like, oh no, you think I want to be bothered with somebody with lupus? And you was like, no, I want somebody with lupus. So
No, he didn't. He didn't know he did not know what he was getting himself into.
you a handful too, right? But check this out though. When it happens, and it was right on time.
It was.
It was right on time. Right on time. So we won't keep you all today. These two here, we can go on and on and on, but the main thing we wanted to let you all know was how Emmitt was doing,
Mhm.
and to let you all know that there are options for you to be able to help save a life. You don't have to be that be the B. I'm sorry,
Be
positive.
positive. Right.
Yes, I'm on the B. Be positive to help Emmitt. And it doesn't have to just be to help Emmitt. You can help save a life. And it doesn't have to be someone that you know. So just
Right.
know that, get tested, even if you're not the same blood type, that there are ways that you can help. You can reach out to Emmitt for more information. They got the kidney organization, just reach out and be a blessing to someone, or even the least you can do is spread the word so that
That's all.
we
That's
can
it.
get the information out there. But we want to thank you guys for joining us today. Emmitt, if you have any closing thoughts, Chanel.
We love you guys. Thank
Yeah.
you for having us.
Definitely thank you for the love and support. We're going to keep this train rolling. We're going to advocate, we're going to support, and we're going to educate. So, in any way, form, or fashion, any questions, you guys can all email me at maillupuswarriors@gmail.com or get in touch with me in my social medias, which I'm sure and assuming that you guys are all following. So, thank you guys so much. And
Awesome.
My
Chandra,
honor. Thanks,
to
everyone.
you, to you,
Thank
Chandra,
you.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you
You're
so much for
welcome.
this platform, and thank you for, your ways of doing this, because definitely need to put the word out. So thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I missed a comment. I don't want to miss that. Our founder, LaShawn, she says, I think educating our communities that we must help solve our own problems, such as raising awareness and organ donations, risk factors, et cetera. You're exactly
Amen.
right. Mhm.
Amen to that. So there's all kind of questions that can be asked. If I don't have the answer, I'll make sure you get the answer. Thank you, LaShawn, for sharing that.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
All right, you guys. Thank you
Bye-bye.
for logging on today. Continuous prayers for Emmitt in his journey. Continuous prayers for us all, every lupus warrior or anybody who's going through something at this time.
Amen.
It's easy to say keep your head up, because we know once you're down in it, you're in it, and it's hard to be that vessel for someone else. Take the time. What your shirt say? It's okay not to be okay. It's really,
Yeah.
it's really okay. It's really okay. It's really okay. All right. Thank you, Shanjay. Thank you, Luana. Thank you, Tynesha.
Thank you,
you,
everyone.
Tyra. Thank you, Lena. Thank you, Chandra. Thank you, Emmitt, Male Lupus Warrior. Shout out to Dion, who is also a strong support system for you, beat Lupus. So you guys have a great Saturday, and keep your head up, and keep being the Lupus warrior that you are. You all have a great day now.
Man, thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Great show today. Thank you for logging on and joining us.